left behind. I will break your code, I'll get in your mind. If you don't keep up, then you're left behind.
I don't hold back on the cyber attack. I keep digging in your mind until I can find the next breach in your system. You wouldn't listen to my advice. I would die in disguise, I'm standing for you. Like so many guys, but I'm the smartest one. Is that a surprise? Like a bug in your program, security issue. You don't know when, but my strikes never miss you. Target acquired, completed step 1. There's no more hiding, cause here I come. Step 2, gotta know how to get you and let you reveal your issues. Step 3, now listen to me. Craft your exploit carefully. It's a thrill when you execute the kill. There's no turning back, my brother, you've been hacked.
I will break your code, I'll get in your mind. If you don't keep up, then you're left behind. I will break your code, I'll get in your mind. If you don't keep up, then you're left behind.
Some pictures of your wife, and the second one is that your mistress. Alright, I'll stop. Now that's the business. Still feel safe in cyberspace. Shall I continue or rest my case? Still don't understand it. You took me for granted. There's no turning back. My brother, you've been hacked.
I will break your code. I'll get in your mind. If you don't keep up, then you're left behind. I will break your code. I'll get in your mind. If you don't keep up, then you're left behind. I will break your code. I will break your code.
cyber attack. I keep digging in your mind until I can find the next breach in your system. You wouldn't listen to my advice. I would die in disguise, I'm standing for you. Like so many guys, but I'm the smartest one. Is that a surprise? Like a bug in your program, security issue. You don't know when, but my strikes never miss you. Target acquired, completed step 1. There's no more hiding, cause here I come. Step 2, gotta know how to get you and let you reveal your issues. Step 3, now listen to me. Craft your exploit carefully. It's a thrill when you execute the kill. There's no turning back, my brother, you've been hacked.
I will break your code, I'll get in your mind. If you don't keep up, then you're left behind. I will break your code, I'll get in your mind. If you don't keep up, then you're left behind.
second one. Is that your mistress? Alright, I'll stop. Now that's the business. Still feel safe in cyberspace. Shall I continue or rest my case? Still don't understand it. You took me for granted. There's no turning back. My brother, you've been hacked.
I'll break your code. I'll double your mind. If you don't keep up, then you're left behind. I will break your code. I'll govern your mind. If you don't keep up, then you're left behind.
All right, amazing hackers. Hope you're all doing well today. Welcome back to the channel, amazing hackers. So great to see you. So fucking great to see you. Let me put off that music for a moment because that's on repeat. I'm not gonna keep blasting in my ear, but that's all right. So good to see all of you here for today's release of Uncle Red's Bug Bounty Guide 2025 version. So first of all, introductions. Do I really need to introduce myself? Most of you guys probably know me, right? I am the thexssrat. What am I? Who am I? I wanted to take the time to actually introduce myself properly to you guys because I think it's super important that I actually am open about everything. I'm honest about everything. Make sure that you as well understand where I am coming from with all of this stuff because there have been a lot of things thrown at my face, like for example that I'm not a bug bounty hunter. Why should I be selling bug bounty courses? Blah, 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 blah. I want to address those things quickly. Why, what are my fucking credentials, right? So, first of all, like bug bounties. No, I have a fucking love-hate relationship with bug bounties. It is worse than with my previous ex. Believe me, it is a lot worse. So, what is going on with me and bug bounties is that, first of all, I am not going to be open and say, oh, this bug, this bug, this bug, this bug, I found this bug. Why? Because I have every financial advantage to doing that. I have every financial advantage to be fully open about what I find, on what level, with what companies, etc. But I don't want to do that. I don't want you to get my stuff just because you get this or you get that or you get that. What you need to know about me is that I work as a tester, I work as a freelancer, I have my own company, I work for other companies, and basically I have a solid client 40 hours a week on top of everything else that I do. So when I do bounties, it isn't that often, but you can ask people because I literally do it live with my students. I find bugs within the hour. The moment I touch this shit, I find bugs. And maybe they're not all super important. Maybe they are like a low, medium, sometimes you might say high. But every single time that we start doing bug bounties, it's like, oh, look, we found something. Does anybody care to report this? Because I don't give a crap. And it might sound like, oh, what, oh, Uncle Red. Now, the thing what you need to know about that is that there are people in those calls who report that. We are working as a team at that moment. I just like to teach my students while we do it. Because I like to, first of all, teach them, tell them what's up, then actually show them on a live target. And usually we'll find something. With every single session that I've done so far, I've at least found one thing. And I don't want to boast with that kind of stuff. I don't even really want to do fucking bug bounties, to be fair. Why is that? Because when it comes to return on investment, if I want learning, I'll go and I'll follow a certification, or I'll go and I'll actually learn, and I'll try that on real things maybe. That's one thing that Bug Bounties has on top of like a course or whatever. But I'm going to go out of my way to learn as much about that topic as possible at that point. I'm not gonna do it while I'm struggling on a real target. If I wanna hack, I'm gonna hack. I'm gonna do it on one of my customers. And they'll pay me for it. A lot more than Bug Bounties will. So what inherent advantage would Bug Bounties have for me? That is my situation. It is a lot different for some of you, and I completely get that, because I am living in a very high cost of living country. I am living in Belgium. Here, wages are sometimes a bit higher than, for example, in India or Pakistan or like some of the Asian countries. I fully understand that, but the expenses are also a lot higher, and on top of that, I have a very specific skill set that I've been developing over the years, specifically to get paid on a very consistent basis every single day. Like, the thing with pen testing is it is extremely difficult to find customers on a very consistent basis. That's why they'll often charge that much as well. It's like, oh yeah, you charge over $100 an hour for a pen test, but do you, first of all, invest the time as well? How much did it cost you to get that customer, etc., etc., etc. Now, enough shit about me. Like, what is this fucking stream going to be, right? A lot of you have been wondering, are we gonna do giveaways? Of course we're gonna do giveaways. I mean, I hope Orgis and Marius aren't in the stream, because fuck, dude, they don't like me doing giveaways, but that's okay. Ah, shit, they're in the stream. Okay, that's okay. That's all good. Basically, we have a giveaway planned for the new Bug Bounty Guide, several giveaways. I'm gonna go over what updates we've done, but I want your questions and I would like to answer them. So if you have questions, dear rats, don't hesitate to ask them. I have two very willing volunteers here in the audience who are going to gather all of those questions for me so I can go over them later. If at any point you have a question, don't hesitate to type it out either. I'd be more than happy to come back to that. Then of course, why do we have this thing split up in parts? Then another giveaway, sequel map in Burp Suite, another giveaway for the Endless Bundle. Oh, sorry, Marius, Argus, I had to do it. Some polyglots and another giveaway for 20 times the XSS guide. If you haven't seen it yet, in the chat there is also a coupon code for our course for Bad Bash that is free for everybody at this moment. So if you are interested in that, don't hesitate to pick that up as well. So let me throw that in there just one more time, 100% off for everybody on that one. Uppa, there we go, uppa in the chat. So that's quite the agenda, and yesterday I've already noticed that it took me quite a long time to get through everything that I wanted to get through, because we've only done one part of what I wanted to do yesterday. I'll try to hurry up as much as possible, but if I'm going too fast, don't hesitate to let me know. I'm doing my best to articulate myself very, very consciously, so slowly trying to be loud. If not loud enough, let me know, because I can't hear myself, of course. And I might fuck up with the audio from time to time, because this is basically my first time working with OBS and I'm a complete noob when it comes to this shit. No, that's not true actually. By the way, this is fucking cool. Have you seen this? That's a fucking static camera, dude. That's literally the camera on my iMac. How cool is that? Fucking amazing, right? Jesus Christ. That's literally the camera on this iMac. That's great. That's great. Oh, and also, I have my little bag of hacking tools here next to me, which I wanted to go over with you guys. So, maybe also interesting. Now, I said that there would be giveaways. I gotta see here, okay? I gotta see here that I don't do too much of giveaway, because I'm like, yeah, let's just give away everything for free. But Marius and Orgis are like, bro, shouldn't you at least earn something from time to time on those fucking courses? So you might be thinking we're selling hundreds or thousands of these courses, by the way. That's none of your business. No, I'm joking. The thing is, you guys know me. I like to make things affordable for you. So one thing I do want to mention is, if at a certain point you're like, I really want this, I cannot pay the full price, I can only pay this amount because I'm a student, because I'm from India, whatever, just write us at info@thexssrat.com and we'll definitely take that shit into consideration, dude. Like, if you don't ask, you're never gonna get it, so just ask. Why not, right? Alright, so cam quality is good, audio quality seems to be good. I'm gonna try to follow the chat as we go, but I'm really bad at multitasking. I am definitely not good at that stuff, so really sorry if I missed something there. So the giveaway has been set up. If it doesn't say free, that means that it is taken. There's only one coupon this time. I'm gonna give out more coupons as we go, so stay tuned for that shit if you want this course for free. That's also a way to get it, of course. I'm not saying everybody can get it that way, but you never know. I mean, we have quite a few that we're gonna give away. Sorry guys, I told you that I wasn't gonna do too much, but I lied. So what, sue me. I need a proper vape here because that one's empty. Alright, let's go over the updates for a moment. So let's go back to there. That should be that. So there we go, so that it doesn't go twice. One moment. And there we go, that should bring back the audio as it should. So you should be hearing me as before. Alright friends, alright. Let's start with the updates. So first of all, I'm gonna need to go to my own course, aren't I? Products, all products, 002. And that numbering system is updated thanks to Orgus. Thank you so much, I really appreciate it, dude. Let's see, view product, and let's take that into here. All right, I'm working with 3 screens today. I feel like a fucking awesome guy. Like, oh, look at me, I'm a hacker. Oh, no. So when this course launches, it should be launching or should be launched already. These messages will go away to the reviewers. Well, no, I'm gonna keep that in here. You know what? I'm just gonna keep that fucking thing in here. So the thing is, it won't change as much, but this message will stay in here, and I'm gonna keep this thing in here as well. If you want to send us your review remarks, feel free to. I would love to hear about them. So that's going to be the first change already. The second changes that we've made is we try to make the titles a lot more clear in this one. Actually, what are you going to learn about? And it's still not perfectly on point. We're gonna go through that. Plus, this is also not fully done yet. So just so you know, I'm gonna be adding some stuff in here. What will be in here? Mostly some introductory tests based on each chapter. And of course, as per usual, we're gonna get a shit ton of questions about the quiz. What do you need to know about bug bounties? Try not to get fooled by me, dear hacker, because I am very devious when it comes to this shit. I'll put in questions that differ by 1 word, but have the exact same answers otherwise, and the correct and wrong answers will be different. Just by changing one word in that question, I'm gonna fuck you over. I'm gonna fuck a lot of you over. I know I'm gonna get that question, and believe me, when I'm gonna get that question, I'm gonna make you think that you're making a fool out of yourself at a certain point, because it's just details matter at bug bounties. That's all I'm gonna say about that. And that's also what we have in here, and I've even put an explanatory text about it in here. Don't skip through that. Actually go and take that quiz, see if you can spot the difference. Now, broad scope, narrow scope, I'm going to, in this part, mainly focus on narrow scope and what I deem to be more beginner vulnerabilities, beginner vulnerability types. This full course, as you see it right here, starts with a section about what bug bounties are. What are you going to learn is basically what targets should you pick. A lot of the questions that I get is, Uncle Red, what target should I pick? What platform should I pick? Should I go broad? Should I go main app? And I think it's important to answer those questions very thoroughly. Then I've gone over a little bit of enumeration. And why is this enumeration so important? A lot of you hackers have the tendency, just like me, to look for something, find something, and then dive into something before actually getting through like the full discovery phase. The problem with that is that you're missing information. You might find more information later in your discovery phase, so that's why we've bumped that chapter up. And I'm not even sure that this chapter is in the previous bug bounty guide. We removed all of the, oh, this is a new section pieces here, because we don't think that's important for you. Now, some of these pieces of content will be reused. That's important to mention, but I don't think we should be reinventing the wheel right here. I think that it is about the information contained within. Now, if it is too different, if it is whatever, just let me know. I want that feedback, because we can still change this, and we are still changing this. And we're even adding labs, thanks to Orgis, in this course as we speak. OTP labs have been added as well. The one-time password labs, which are completely new labs. We've made references to other labs, and we will be referring to our full systems as well, because we have quite a few of those. Now, how to pick a target, like I said, a lot of times I get that question, and then we'll start with the web attacks. Now, the order of this might change a little bit by the time you get to this. I'm just reconsidering it. I might do a little bit of an update here tomorrow, because I do think it's important to, well, I said start with something very difficult, but I've asked like around to some of my colleagues, and we tend to agree that it is important to get you warmed up a little bit. And CSRF might seem like it's super difficult, but believe me, when it comes to technicality, this will be one of the least difficult bugs you can find. Believe me, Orgis, Marriage, even Marriage knows by now CSRF isn't that difficult of a vulnerability to understand. Yet you can find quite a few things with it if you combine it with other vulnerabilities. Then we go into clickjacking and the OTP labs, like I said. Are they added to the labs already, Orgis? I'm not sure. I believe they are. Let me just check labs.hexpert.com. That is, of course, security misconfiguration, OTP labs, the demo labs. Ah, yes, this is just to say, okay, one has, so these OTPs are very simple, these labs. And then we have labs over here, which have been completely built by Orgis. Really fucking cool, by the way. I love these. Totally not using AI or anything. So basically they show 4 principles of OTP bypasses based on those labs. And these labs are free, by the way, guys. So don't hesitate to go and hack on them if you want to explore a little bit. They are free, they are open. We want to add a little bit more instruction labs, like you see right here. You know, just some, because a lot of people have said these are just naked labs. What do we do with them? So we have that covered. And just in case if you want to sponsor us, I'm just letting you know there are some sponsor advertisement spots available. Just letting you know, all right, let's do a little bit of a different thing for one moment, because I just wanted to let you guys know as well that while this live is running, and basically I'm just gonna go to bed afterwards, I'm going to keep that pre-order thing up. So if you need a little bit more time, don't hesitate. The pre-order coupon will be available until somewhere tomorrow, so if that's what you'd like. And we also have that endless bundle of ours, by the way, if you are interested in that. The endless bundle contains this course and all of our current and future courses. I've seen a question come by about the Burp Suite course. Yep, we are totally renewing that. Why is that? Because about, let's say 5-6 years ago, I started with this stuff, and I started doing this where I had a lot more time on my hands. My kid wasn't as grown, so I could easily do 1 full chapter per day, and I could make a bug bounty guide, I could make this guide, I could make that guide. But over the years, I feel like my content has gotten a little bit too outdated, and on top of that, it doesn't even all work. So it doesn't work like it should. Our labs are broken in some places. We have some problems with content that isn't loading the way that we want to. On top of that, like I said, the titles are just very unclear. So we've all changed that as it should be. JWT, we're gonna go into that. There we go, let me mute that. So we're gonna go into JWT, WordPress, that video is still to come. Broken access control, my favorite vulnerability type, guys. If there's one thing I can give you a tip on, broken access control is very, very heavy. It's often coming into applications like this. So like the one that I am suggesting, I will also suggest you some programs in this course, by the way, and I will keep this updated. So once every month I will go through the open programs on platforms like Integrity, Bugcrowd, etc. All of them, I'll go through them and I'll add them into this course. I'll do this for as long as I have to, as long as people keep watching that. I'll do that and I'll send out emails as needed if that is required, of course. Then we have IDORs. IDORs are just part of broken access control. We know that, of course. And then we got SQL injection. SQL injection by Pink Draconian, of course. SQL injection labs on my labs. And yes, there are people who like to destroy our databases with SQL injection. As fine. We're gonna look past that and we're just gonna restore the database every 30 minutes. So if that thing is broken, if one of our labs is broken, sorry about that. It's vulnerable labs. It happens that somebody hacks the entire shit and deletes it all. It's fun. Orgus finds that very fun, doesn't he? So I'm not gonna go through every single section of the vulnerabilities. The syllabus is completely open if you want to do these things on your own. Totally fine with me. Oh, sorry. The camera was in the way, I see. Ooh, let's keep that. So the camera out of the way. There we go. Is that better? Yeah, that should be better, right? So what do we want to do with these labs? Basically, we have labs, and each of these labs, there's going to be vulnerability types, the logical. We want to keep them open. You have separate labs with different vulnerability types each. And we're gonna go through these first. So the injection, NoSQL injection. NoSQL is a different type than SQL injection. You probably know that, XXE. And then we have CSTI. And then we have auth and sessions with JWT authentication. And then we have the cross-site scripting labs here. Once again, all fully open for you to explore. CSP labs, login bypass labs. We even have those at the moment. We have OTP labs, broken access control in terms of IDOR, privilege escalation, object property assignment, login bypass, request forgery. We have quite a few, and CSRef once again, yep, it keeps popping up. We have that as well, GZ labs. All of these are basically separate systems where you have local file inclusion, remote file inclusion. These all have different vulnerabilities within them. And then you have these as well, which are basically the full systems. And in our full systems, you have things like Jeffrey Cedar system, the cities labs, and each of them has a different vulnerability. Here, you can probably guess it already. Value is reflected. I'm going to need to look for something like this, right? Oh, cool. Oop. There we go. No, that's not it. Apparently, it's not taking that. Might take it in another challenge. Let's search for a city. Nope. Gonna have to look for something else now, won't I? Let's try for a B or something like that. No, not working. Maybe we have to break out, you know. So all of these labs, basically, they're built like that. They're built as bigger systems, quote unquote, where you're trying to emulate other types of systems. So what do we want to run with this, or what do we want to do with this whole idea of the labs? We're actually trying to get you to try this before. At the very end in our course, I'm going to demonstrate my bug bounty methodology on these labs basically, and from there on out you can go and try that on a real vulnerability type. So basically, let's say that you have your own methodology. At the end, I am going to give you targets on which you can try this. I'm going to give you advice on all of these targets. And I'm going to even make different drawings like this, basically diagrams to guide you on one of the targets which I recommend, which is Enviso. Let's see through the recent ones. That's not it. Enviso broken access control. Like this, for example, and in here, in this one, I've made this for a coaching session, but this is a target that I recommend, period. It's a target that I recommend for broken access control. So I'll try to make a little bit of a guide, a little bit of a what can you do on this target, etc., etc. So guys, I think that's enough about this. There's an advertisement, basically. I just had to go over that. What do we want to do in parts 2 and 3? We want to add on broad scope, and we want to add on AI hunting, and we want to add on a few extra vulnerabilities. We try to get it all into one, but look at how big this syllabus has gotten, basically. These are all of the vulnerability types we want to touch on, and we basically only gotten somewhere to here. So we still want to do pretty much these things. API, LFI, RFI is in there, account takeover requests, smuggling, email injections, API pen testing, we have login bypasses, open redirections, HTTP parameter pollution should be in there. We don't have race conditions yet. The XPath injection. There is still a crap ton to come, and that's going to be in parts 2 and 3, of course. And the total price of all of those parts is going to be the same as the bug bounty guide that we had before, or very similar in that price range anyway. So that is why parts 1, 2, and 3. We already thought it was way too much information. Period. We thought it was completely way too much information at this point, as it was. And this, once again, the syllabus will be available for free. Alright guys, I need to grab a drink quickly, so I'm going to insert a quick ad break. I will be right back. Don't go anywhere, because after the break we're going to do a giveaway of the bug bounty guide 3 times. So if you don't have the ability to afford it, feel free to let me know, or us know through the info@thexssrat.com, and let us know if there is something you would be able to pay. And if not, we do giveaways on a regular basis. Just follow me on Twitter. I literally give away half of my courses, more than half of my courses. Please don't kill me, Mary Norgis. I would really appreciate that. Alright, ladies and gents, time for a quick ad break. I will be right back.
Cyber attack, I keep thinking in your mind until I can find the next breach in your system. You wouldn't listen to my advice. I would die in disguise. I'm standing for you like so many guys, but I'm the smartest one. Is that a surprise? Like a bug in your program, security issue. You don't know when, but my strikes never miss you. Target acquired, completed step 1. There's no more hiding, cause here I come. Step 2, gotta know how to get you and let you reveal your issues. Step 3, now listen to me. Craft your exploit carefully. It's a thrill when you execute the kill. There's no turning back, my brother, you've been hacked.
I'll break your code, I'll get the new one. If you don't keep up, then you're left behind. I will break your code, I'll get the new one. If you don't keep up, then you're left behind. behind. I will break your code, I'll get in your mind. If you don't keep up, then you're left behind.
Now I'm inside your hard drive, got insight on your life. I stole all your data, saw pictures of your wife. And the second one, is that your mistress? Alright, I'll stop. Now that's the business. Still feel safe in cyberspace. Shall I continue or rest my case? Still don't understand it. You took me for granted. There's no turning back. My brother, you've been hacked.
I will break your code, I'll get in your mind. If you don't keep up, then you're left behind. I will break your code, I'll get in your mind. If you don't keep up, then you're left behind. I will break your code. I will break your code.
There we go. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back. So, first of all, let's go through a few questions. No. I promised something, I should do that. I promised you a giveaway, I should give you a giveaway. I'm gonna post it in the chat now. Hurry the fuck up. So, that's another giveaway gone. Might give away more courses as we go. Why not? Well, why not? Admiration, or guys. You guys love it when I give away courses, don't you? So, well, not per se. I might make this into something that is more than just a one-time event, because I really enjoy myself here. I love doing these lives, especially when I have so much interaction with you guys. That's basically the whole reason why I got started here. Hey Barja, how are you doing? Good to see you, good to see you. Good to see that you are all joining so plentifully. So I have quite a few questions that I can see come up. So so yeah, if you see other questions, the guys are saying, if you see other things that are following you, then you should probably start worrying. So let's see here. Let's put this thing up on screen for me. What did you guys put together? Perfect. That's perfect. Really appreciate it. Thank you so much. So we have quite a few questions. Let's get into those first. We could always do more lives, of course. I really love doing this, and I have so much tricks to show you guys. And as you can see, it's taking its time. I mean, we are really doing hopefully a good job, or trying to do a good job at explaining things as good as we can. So let's get into questions, because these can use some explanations as well. I see someone here asking, Lafivian, trying to change my career, currently learning from Coursera, it supports an HTML, CSS. Can you recommend me a learning path or something that I should learn first so I can do bug bounties? The thing is, what you're already doing, trying to develop websites, that's literally the first thing that I will ask any hacker to do. You can ask that to Orgis. Like Orgis, when he first joined, the very first thing that I asked him to do was to start creating websites for me. That's it, just create websites for me. I did the same thing to Brandon when he first started learning. He was like, I'll do anything, fine, start making fucking websites. Because if you want to hack something, you need to start learning how things work. You need to start understanding them. You need to start to be able to break stuff apart, but you can only break stuff apart in a constructive way if you know how to build them up. Let's say that I am, for example, wanting to take apart my microwave. That would be a horrible idea, because I don't know what the parts of a microwave are. I don't know what the hell a microwave is made of. And I'd probably shock myself to death before you could say, Uncle Red, stop that. So that's the same thing for hacking. How do you expect to be able to get into hacking when you don't really know how to make a website first? How interactions with database systems work? One of my stronger points as a hacker is that I have experience with an ungodly amount of technologies. I know pretty much
every technology in existence. I at least have heard of it and have considered it for one of the projects that I am working on. So the thing is, I come into contact, for example, at this point with Jenkins on a daily basis. What is Jenkins? A DevOps system. It can automate anything, so I can come into contact with any type of automation. It's a great learning path for me because I can really learn how things work in this regard. That should be your idea as well. If you want to start learning how to do bug bounties, you'll need to be able to at least recognize some targets. A lot of people think they can learn a vulnerability type and generalize that to a target. No, you can learn a target and generalize that to a vulnerability type. It's the other way around. You can learn how things work, and then you can learn how those things are broken. You can't learn how things are breaking without learning how they work first. I can't start to understand how a roller coaster breaks down, and I can't start to properly look for issues with roller coasters if I don't know how they work. Imagine me being an inspector, Inspector Wes, going out there to inspect a roller coaster. If I have experience with how things break, I'm gonna be able to identify how things break. If I have experience with just wheels might explode. Why the fuck do those wheels explode? What's going on internally in terms of forces? How are they constructed? What type of material are they made of? What things matter for this? I don't know. So you can't know the same for bug bounty. I hope that makes sense. I hope that answers your question. Great question, amazing hacker. Kangafu says, how does this course differ from other courses? That's a great question there, Kangafu. Thank you so much for asking that. So the reason that I started making courses, and with all respect to other course creators, is I wanted to learn things and I thought other courses were kinda shit. Not all of them. Very clear about that. Not all courses are bad, to be very clear once again. But what I found was, for example, an XSS course that went over the OWASP juice shop. And that was it. Just the basics of XSS, and then OWASP juice shop, and they charged $20 for it. I was like, hold the phone, my dear. I can do better. I can do a lot better than that. And that's something that I try to at least be better at, is I try to understand you guys. I try to understand my students. I am in the same boat as you, which is why I feel like I have at least an inherent advantage with my autism, with my ADHD, to understand things very quickly. And I understand where the struggles are, at least to a degree. With bug bounties, I had these struggles. I am facing struggles like this on a daily basis. So I try to address these points through at least 5 pillars. Where possible, every single chapter should have a quiz for knowledge retention, a PowerPoint with a presentation to go over the basics of that thing, an actual demonstration showing you videos, whatever the fuck is needed, labs on top of that. I wanted to also have a full article where possible written out, because some people, they like to learn from PowerPoint, some people like to learn from an article, others like to take away from videos, those like to learn from labs. There is a great, these types of things differ from person to person. So I try to address that for most people where I can. I see here that Heather, a great question, thank you by the way. Heather has a question. I have the retired Burp Suite 0 to Hero course. Are you offering it again? Not yet, Heather, but it's a great question. We will be soon. I think it's still for sale at this point, or at least a version of it is, but it is updated not to my standards. This is my standards. What I am going to present to you now, this course is what my standards are. This needs to be very clear. For the courses that I have been making, I don't like them as much anymore if I go through them myself. And I don't like to promote things as much when I'm not confident that what I am presenting here will be the most return on investment you can get within the market. So at this point, I am remaking that because I think that a lot of it was missing from that. We'll getting to that at a certain point, not yet. We've updated the course material for the latest UI and stuff like that because we know that there are issues, but it is included in this course as well as video material. So basically what you have there should be updated in here to a large degree. Thanks for asking that, Heather. Really good question. Then we have Great Alan. What's your daily driver laptop and setup, desktop setup? Oh, good question. Here, a laptop is my MacBook Pro here. That's a 2022 version. MacBook Pro, I think. Basically, this is a thing I use on a daily basis whenever I'm out and about. Lovely little laptop. I banged it a few times over. So that's my daily driver. What I'm working on right now is an iMac, and I have 3 screens with the iMac. I have like this big ass white curved screen, then I have a smaller screen right here, and then my iMac screen itself, of course. The iMac specs, don't ask me for those. I wouldn't have a fucking clue. The thing works. So, and then I have like this big desk here that that I got from somebody for free. And I have this other desk that I got at IKEA for like $50 that I'm working on at this point. So I'm basically rocking a 3,000 with the laptop, 6,000 euro setup on a $50 desk. That's the way to do it. Thanks for the question, Alan. But why is Mac so important for me? Because it's Unix based and I can do a lot of the things that I can do on Linux. I can do that on my Mac. And this is why I prefer working on that operating system, to be fair. It's just a lot more convenient for me, for my daily driver, for all of the tasks that I need to do. It works fine. It works great that way. How do I get into mobile bug hunting? Is there a scene for it or is it dead? Alan, my friend, the thing is, what I'm trying to teach you guys here is web-based bug hunting. And why is that? I want to transition into APIs because once you can talk to APIs, you can basically pen test anything when you can intercept the traffic between the application and the backend. So for mobile pen testing, what you need to know is, first of all, how do you get your certificate within the keychain of the device you're using, Android and iOS. I have a great Android bug hunting course totally for free on Udemy, and I can grab that for you if you'd like. And it's also, I think, on Podia, but it is a bug bounty guide for mobile. It is an Android bug bounty guide. And oh shit, that's not the account that I need. I need to get my other account. There we go. I'll get the link for you guys there. But what I like is basically, if you know the basis, every step that you learn on top of that is an extra step that you have that others don't have. So there, let's say that, for example, you have I'm just grabbing the course itself. It's one of the first ones that we've made. There we go. And let's do copy and let's paste it in here. Let's say that you know how to hack APIs. Other people might not know how to interact with APIs. Bam, you're automatically eliminating 50% of your hacker base. Okay, now you know how to hack APIs, others don't. Fine. Let's talk about mobile on top of that. You have again eliminated a big portion of other hackers that don't know what the fuck they're doing in that regard. But it is incredibly difficult. First of all, you will have to know how to intercept that certificate. Second of all, mobile applications sometimes use a principle, what is known as certificate pinning. So if I want to develop an application, I will ask my application to check that the certificate is valid, the HTTPS certificate that is. But your Burp Suite certificate, if you insert that, the application will actually check and know it's your Burp Suite certificate and will refuse to function. You actually have methods in Frida, and there's also objection. Objection is built on top of Frida to automatically bypass certificate pinning, and there are methods in Frida to insert your certificate within the device that you're testing. it's all possible. There is root checks in some applications, which sometimes you'll have to root you're gonna have to root your device to insert the own certificate. If you do that, some applications will actually check if the device that you're testing on is rooted or not. So you'll have to bypass the root check, and you'll have to bypass the certificate pinning. There are standard ways of doing certificate pinning out there, and there are custom ways of doing certificate pinning out there. If it's a standard way, you're lucky, you're gonna be able to override it with objection or free data. If it's not standard, you're gonna have to write your own script to put over it, because all that's doing is at runtime, it'll overwrite the piece of code which says check certificate. Method check certificate will be overwritten by the FRIDA certificate checking. And of course, if it doesn't match with what is expected, then it's not gonna work. So it's quite a lot that you have to learn from it, but don't let it discourage you, my man. Don't. It's not worth it. Like I mean, it's not worth it to be discouraged by this complexity. You just have to dive in, and you just have to learn it. I mean, it's a 56-minute video course. So if you want to go through it, it's free right now in the chat. And what I'm going to do is I'm also going to do another giveaway. Why not? I mean, people love giveaways, right? Except for my staff, they don't like giveaways that much. But that seems like a them problem and not so much like a me problem. Let's do another bug bounty guide giveaway, shall we? So I'm gonna put something in the chat right now, and I hope that you guys are clicking fast, because I mean, these things go like crazy. So let's do that. And I'm also going to do, if you were unable to grab that, I'm also going to do a free XSS guide in the description. XSS guide should be in there right now. That should be 20 times, so that should give you guys plenty of time to grab that, since there are only 18 of you here. All right, let's get back to the questions, because we have quite a few, and I love that. Keep asking questions, guys. This is fucking amazing. So let's see here. What's your web stack for your course website? So basically, I use Podia, and Podia is just a course website that I offer. But for my labs@hexpert.com, we use PHP a lot, and Python APIs PHP for other applications, because PHP allows you to program in so many fuck-ups. And just because it allows you to do that is actually the ideal thing for us. Imagine building labs on something that is super strict like Node.js. It's possible for sure, but it makes things more difficult. So the thing is, I've tried to do things as, in this case, PHP Python at the start. Then Orgus came, he took over the lab development, and we've continued in PHP. I always tell people to start with PHP as well, because basically it's the most malleable language. It allows you to make mistakes, and it allows you to try and hack your own website. Good question there, Alan. Another question we have here is, what is the most common bugs in APIs? It depends, but if you are listening to the OWASP Top 10, is broken access control on all levels. There's basically 3 levels of broken access control. You can watch yesterday's live if you're interested in that. But broken access control is very prevalent in the OWASP Top 10. All the fucking time, even on API level. And there's 3 types, like I said: object property, and function level broken access control. But when I was reporting a lot on integrity on my amazing ferret profile, pretty much everything was broken access control. You can look back at that. I have a video up reading my bug bounty reports. It's insane, dude, how many fucking bug bounty reports that I've put in for broken access control. At a certain point, I got into the top 20 on integrity within like a month's time. And that is basically when I stopped. That was sufficient for me. Why the hell would I go on integrity? Then later on, I picked that up again, and just I don't like to be very public about that kind of stuff. How I hack, what I hack, why I hack. But I can very clearly state, and that is without reasonable doubt, that I've protected pretty much the personal data of, at the very least, 30 to 40% of all Belgian people. And that is something that I can't publicly state how or why, but I can tell you that I've prevented several hacks on a level that is massive within Belgium. And I'm quite proud of that, to be fair. I'm quite proud of that. I am very, very close about that because, of course, I'm not going to publicly disclose how that happened, who that happened to, or in how bad of a state they are. Why the fuck would I do that? I'm just making enemies at that point. But I really love to do this kind of stuff where I don't actively look for security vulnerabilities. Guys, believe it or not, I'm looking for bugs, and I'll later determine if it's a UI bug, if it's a vulnerability on security level, if it's a vulnerability on. I basically approach all of this shit with a QA mindset, and the same goes for APIs. I am initially not looking for vulnerabilities. I'm just logically thinking how this application is supposed to be used. And that's my second point on the most common bugs in APIs is business logic vulnerabilities. They are impossible to catch automatically. That's a logic vulnerability. You're not gonna tell me that ChatGPT can reason logically. That thing hallucinates 40% of the time. And while it might catch some logic vulnerabilities, the thing with these AIs is that they're not good at keeping oversight at these big operations like a big company with multiple projects going on. So the next question, I'm really sorry, I cannot pronounce that username. Which is the most famous system that you've successfully hacked and found a critical bug in? Also for web, so let's first answer that first part of the question. Great question there. The most famous system that I've successfully hacked and found a critical vulnerability in is the American Secret. Well, I'm not sure if it's the Secret Service anymore, but it's that one of those official government services. And it's a while back. That's why I say it. I'm not sure anymore. It's literally like 6 years ago. I found that with another hacker, Stanfas, and it's been a long ass time ago. Basically, what we found is you had a website where you could enter an email, and if you entered the email parameter twice, it would generate a login link for the first email but send it to the second email. So I could log in as you by just doing some parameter pollution. And that vulnerability, we got played left, right, and fucking center with that vulnerability. Because first of all, the bug crowd triager didn't understand what the fuck was going on. So I had to put in a comment. I've always put in a video. I put in a step-by-step instruction. He still didn't get it. We went back and forth for about 30 comments. He still didn't fucking get it. Eventually he was like, let's close this vulnerability, open another one so we have a clean record and know what the hell's going on. Okay, fine. Up until that point, I did that. One of the head triagers came in. Eventually, they confirmed it. But the beautiful thing is, by opening the second one, so I closed that first vulnerability, with the second one, they were able to prove that the second report came after a deploy of the fix for the vulnerability I was reporting. So they basically literally used that window in between the first vulnerability closing and me reporting the second vulnerability to deploy a fix, because that was literally a tens of thousands of euros worth of vulnerability. And I got quite flamed for that because the guy that I was hacking with didn't understand. Well, he didn't do anything bad or whatever, but I can understand that he had negative thoughts about that, because that's tens of thousands of euros that we were supposed to split. And at that point he was like, how are you not able to convince the triagers? This is one of the most simple vulnerabilities in existence. And they had that same mindset. Come on, it's like the government websites that we're talking about here. But it's a fucking sneaky way of handling shit, and I'm not very happy with the way that happened, to be fair. And that's why I don't hack on bug road anymore. It's nothing to do with whatever, it's not even to do with this. It's literally the fact that I followed that same triager on Twitter and I saw him ask how to hack a public Wi-Fi. If I see a triager asking how to do unethical shit, I am out. I am out, dude. Your platform can be the best platform in the world. I don't give fuck off. I don't give a fuck anymore. That person should be punished. Period. Like he's a triage. Come on, dude. If you're watching, we'll call him Josh. He wasn't called Josh, of course, but we'll call him Josh. Josh, if you're watching this, you fucked up, dude. Come on, Jesus Christ. Ay, 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 ay. And I wrote to Buckroyd about that, by the way. They said they would do something about that. I still saw that triage working there a month later. I don't know what exactly they did to that guy, but it's yeah, it's not really helpful. I'm sorry about that. Also, for web dev who wants to move into bug bounties, can you recommend specific certifications? Definitely not. The problem is that if you want to move into bug bounties, you're gonna test stuff that has already been tested by other people before. Quite a lot of them with quite high certifications. When you want to move into bug bounties, it's a great question. What I can recommend is that you work on your creativity, really on your creativity. So go draw, go write, go work on your notes. All of these things are helping you figure things out. Just program, and even that can already help you. But at a certain point, you will have to move on to hacking, of course. And when you move into that hacking field, what you need to remember is that you're gonna have to you're gonna have to come across this learning curve where at the beginning you'll learn a lot in a short time period, and then you'll have to exponentially increase your effort to get the same return on investment. So just remember that it pays off to first learn the basic vulnerabilities as much as you can, get a very broad overview, make one methodology where you have things in your head of how you want to test them. But the biggest advantage that a web dev like you will have is that you'll already know how the applications that you're hacking will work to a large degree. You'll know which issues a developer has when developing an application. You'll know how they make bugs because you make bugs. You know how they make issues, how they commit that on a Friday evening just to go on a holiday and nobody sees that issue. You know how QA catches vulnerabilities, bugs. So you have an inherent advantage over other people. The next question from Orgus Anarchy. Why is it always cold for penguins? So I can tell you for a fact that it's not always cold for penguins. How warm can they survive? That's a great question. So what temperature is too hot? During the 2019 molting season, hundreds of little penguins died after several days above 35 degrees. So I think we can comfortably say that several days at 30 degrees shouldn't bake the little fuckers just yet. You should probably put them in an oven for about like 42 minutes to an hour 50. It depends on how you want to put it. Maybe put it on 130 degrees. If you want to do it a bit longer, maybe put it on 180 if you want to blast it in 40 minutes. But it shouldn't always be cold for penguins. It should only be cold for penguins when you put them in the freezer to conserve their meat for longer. I hope that makes sense. Great question there, my friend. So next question that we have here. Well, you know what? I'm gonna insert an outro here for just a moment. And what I'm going to do then is I am going to quickly grab another giveaway coupon so I can give away some more courses for you guys. And then we'll get further into those questions. Shall we do that? Great idea, right? Let's give that a shot.
you don't keep up, then you're left behind. I will break your code, I'll govern your mind. If you don't keep up, then you're left
I
behind.
don't hold back on the cyber attack. I keep thinking in your mind until I can find the next breach in your system. You wouldn't listen to my advice. I would die in disguise. I'm standing for you like so many guys, but I'm the smartest one. Is that a surprise? Like a bug in your program, security issue. You don't know when, but my strikes never miss you. Target acquired, completed step 1. There's no more hiding, cause here I come. Step 2, gotta know how to get you and let you reveal your issues. Step 3, now listen to me. Craft your exploit carefully. It's a thrill when you execute the kill. There's no turning back, my brother, you've been hacked.
I will break your code, I'll govern your mind. If you don't keep up, then you're left behind. I will break your code, I'll govern your mind. If you don't keep up, then you're left behind. If you don't keep up, then you're left behind. I will break your code, I'll govern your mind. If you don't keep up, then you're left behind.
Now I'm inside your hard drive, guys on your life. I stole all your data, some pictures of your wife. And the second one, is that your mistress? Alright, I'll stop. Now that's the business. Still feel safe in cyberspace. Shall I continue or rest my case? Still don't understand it, you took me for granted. There's no turning back, my brother, you've been hacked.
I will break your code, I'll govern your mind. If you don't keep up, then you're left behind. I will break your code, I'll govern your mind. If you don't keep up, then you're left behind. I will break your
Alright, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Good to see you. Good to see that you've all stayed. So, first of all, you're probably seeing my desk to a degree right now, and no, I do not want to show you my cool new shirt. That's not what this is about. I actually want to go over my hacking bag for a moment, because of course I know you guys love hacking gadgets. So I've basically taken the hacking gadgets which I have, and you'll probably recognize this little booklet here. This is a nice little booklet for your rubber ducky. You guys probably recognize what a rubber ducky is, right? So this, I don't know if you guys know, shit, now I fucking lost his name. The guy who writes all of the ducky scripts for, Jesus Christ, my memory is a mess. I have an interview with the guy on my channel. I'm sorry, fuck, I can't remember the name for the life of me. If somebody knows the guy who writes all of the fucking ducky scripts, put it in the chat please, because my memory is really leaving me abandoned right now. And it's of course this little thingy right here, a bad USB stick, a really fucking cool device. I've played around with it a little bit. One thing that I've used this for is I had a phone, and that phone, it had infinite attempts, so you could infinitely keep brute forcing it. That's like you could basically try every code and they forgot their code. So I wrote a little script for it, inserted it, started the script up, and basically I was able to crack the code that way, at least for them. So really cool device. I have a very similar device when it comes to like bad USB devices, which is this thing, and I can't find the fucking cable for it. Lovely. The cable is probably somewhere over there in my area, in my setup area, but that's the bad USB OMG cable, of course, that I'm talking about. I have the Apple version. Do you guys have any of these? I'm curious, how many of you guys have some kind of bad USB device? Can be anything. It doesn't have to be these two, of course. Can be any type of bad USB, but I'm just curious. Another type of bad USB that you can sometimes find is this, the Flipper Zero. You might all, yeah, well, you probably all know it. The Flipper Zero has different things that you can do with it. RFID, you have the GPIO pins, you have infrared, but you also have bad USB here that you can do with this, of course. And then, of course, I have this. And by the way, this is I think this is some kind of limited edition that I have, this clear plastic one. It's a really fucking nice one. I love this one. So the Wi-Fi board on top of that, of course, we have the dev board. I'm gonna be very honest with you, I have hardly used this thing. Like, this is something that I haven't really fucked with, and I wanna fuck with it because I bought all of these things a while ago, a long ass time ago, even on Arduino Zero, and I have fucked with the RFID stuff on that before, but I've bought all of these little electronics that I can use for the GPIO pins on my Flipper Zero. Little LEDs, little buttons, just little things so I can teach my kid about that stuff. It's freaking cool that they have this these days, you know. Back in my day when I was a young guy, well, we had to build our own bad USB devices. We had to run uphill 6 miles every day to school twice. Don't ask me how we had to run uphill twice every day. I'm not sure of that. But like these are the things which I'll like. I love this type of gear, you know. I'm just playing about with it. I know that for a fact. I mean, I'm not doing anything cool with this stuff. I'm not that good, but at least, amen, right? We have to have fun, and it's a lot more constructive than gaming, right? You have to give that to me. I don't have the Hacker F, but that's something that I'm considering getting. I freaking love that device. It's just, you can't have all of this stuff all at once, you know? But it's something that I want to have. Does anybody of you guys have these devices, like the rubber ducky or whatever? I don't know if it's by Daring Kitchen. That's a good question. USB rubber ducky. I don't know. Is it by? You mean? Sorry, I don't know that one. By Darren Kitchen. No, not Darren Kitchen. That's not the guy that I'm talking about. He has like the colored hair and fuck, I can't remember his name for the life of me. Jacoby. Something with Jacoby, that's in his name, but I can't fucking. Jacoby. I am Jacoby. Well, of course. That guy is freaking awesome. I'm gonna put his stuff in the chat as well because I think he deserves a little bit of a shout out. Why not? No, not that. You don't need to put that text in here. Why the fuck am I doing that? OBS, great. Let's put that in the chat. No? What the hell? No. I'm just gonna do it like the old-fashioned way then. Alright, let's put that in the chat. By the way, I was watching a little behind. My nickname that you couldn't pronounce is Daniel Dinov. Daniel Dinov in Bulgarian. Greetings from Bulgaria. Welcome. Good to see you, mate. I have worked with a lot of Bulgarian colleagues. They say that you guys have the best eclair, so I want that eclair. What else do we have here? What do you think the severity would be for a vulnerability social media platform where attackers can manipulate relationships between users? Could leave any user with 0 followers. Well, that's a critical vulnerability because it impacts their business, but it's a great question, Sipilke. So what you're asking me there is if a application is developed with a specific thing in mind that it should be doing, so for example a social media platform, and you can manipulate the business of that application, that is potentially not a critical vulnerability, even though in this case I would say yes, that would be a critical vulnerability. Great question there. Great question. Yeah, I know what you mean there. Like time is important, right? Time is of the essence, and it's really hard to find time sometimes. So I promised you guys as well that I was gonna do an endless giveaway. Should I be doing that? Should I give away the endless guide? Yeah, why not, right? I mean, why not? Nobody gonna stop me. You're gonna have to lock me out to take away my password, take away all of my commit rights, because I'm gonna post this thing in chat anyway, and you're not gonna be able to stop me for it. I'm gonna post one endless in chat right now, and I hope you have a fast trigger finger. Congratulations to whoever got that. I will be doing more giveaways soon, I'm gonna be guessing. So my guys told me, just be careful with all of the giveaways that you're doing. That's literally something they told me. Okay, and that's your Scottishism of the day. Don't give anything away. Oh god, I love you guys so much. This is fucking awesome. Make them work for it. That is not a bad idea, Orgus. That's not a bad idea, and I'm gonna make you work for it as well. I hope you're ready for that, because in our labs, I'm gonna ask you, Orgus, somewhere in our labs, it doesn't matter, to put the endless bundle. I'm gonna leave it up to you where you're gonna put it, but I'm gonna be making a coupon code for 100% off for one, and you're gonna be putting that somewhere in the labs, and we will be giving out clues and hints and shit like that until it's found. But you're gonna, thank you so much, I really appreciate that, Orgus. Oh god, I love you guys so much. I love this stuff. This is actually making me happier than you guys can imagine. Just because I can interact with the amazing rats in my rat pack there. I made the labs unhackable by anyone. Yeah, of course, I believe you fully in that. Nobody can hack our labs, right? Oh, Jesus Christ, this is great. I switched the server up. Oh god, oh god, oh god. Oh god, please do not switch the server off. I need that for my course. Thank you very much, I really appreciate it. So I have another question here. I'm in a scenario where I can inject an iframe into a page because of a search parameter which isn't sanitized. The iframe loads a script from my domain which causes browser execution in context of my domain. That's a great question. I'm in a scenario where I can inject an iframe. You can inject that iframe into a page because of a search parameter which isn't sanitized now. If you have course active, that's gonna be a problem, of course, but something tells me you haven't. Reading from this, the iframe loads a script from your domain which causes browser execution in context of my domain. What do you mean with browser execution? You mean that within the script that is executed, basically you can execute any script on your domain, but that script cannot access something from the parent domain, right? Am I understanding that correctly? So if that would be the case, then that's a great question. Let me think about that for a moment. Is there something you could do that's immediately obvious? Is there CSRF active, maybe something that would allow you to do some kind of requests from your domain to that domain, because then you can inject an iframe which automatically does a CSRF attack. That would be upping your CSRF attacks immediately. What else could you do? You're not gonna be able to execute cross-site scripting in that regard. You could execute a keylogger, but any keys that are typed are only keys that are active within your iframe, of course. They're not gonna be active within the top. What if you overlay the whole page with an iframe, make that iframe invisible, and then make anything captured within that iframe sent to you through an out-of-band server? Would that be something possible? Because then you're basically overlaying the page with something that they're gonna be typing in anyway. You're just gonna be making that iframe invisible maybe, but put an input box on that iframe on the exact location that they would see it, and anything that they type in there could be cross-site scripting. Of course, you could always do cryptocurrency mining with a cryptocurrency miner in JavaScript. There are ways that definitely, that's a great question, dude. I love that question, man. You're making me think a lot. I love it. Good question. I hope that answers your question. I'm just rambling things off that you could potentially do here, but these are something that I would be looking for. So another question, and of course I need to know the full context of what you're asking. Like the thing is, it's difficult, of course, to get into what you're actually facing here. But something tells me you should be digging deeper. Something tells me that this is something which might be, it's scratching, it's creating an itch within me. You know what I mean? Like when I'm attacking a bug bounty target, and I find maybe that there is a broken access control, but on something very insignificant. Well, there's something called the fallacy defect clustering, the clustering of defects. It basically says that a developer can make a mistake, but that is potentially due to a lack in their skill set, which means they're always going to make that exact same mistake, or they had a bad day, and that just means that all of the code that they've committed on that day is going to be shit. So that's that itch that I'm talking about, and I feel that itch here as well. It's a shame that I don't have it in front of me because I would like to explore that some more. If you find HTML injection, try to inject an iframe. Most WAFs block iframes with source doc, but not iframe with source. That's a great remark there. I like that as well. Injecting iframes is something that a lot of people don't think about, but you can do a lot of stuff there. Let's see. I'm a dev. I don't make mistakes. That's something that I should be saying, Orgus, and you should be saying, yes, Uncle Red, you don't make mistakes. You're totally right about that. How can I show the impact when the browser execution is not in the context of the target website? That's the same thing, right? Indeed. So you really want to, yeah, that's something that I would be looking at, is that keylogger ID or even that cryptocurrency idea. And the problem is, of course, that you cannot access the JavaScript of that application itself. That's shitty. Otherwise, you could maybe execute some JavaScript. Yeah, it's a good question, man. Making me think a lot. Kangafu is asking me what flavor do I vape. I'm currently looking at Banana Berry Fantasy, and somewhere here, well, I have basically this whole rack of vapes, including this one, which is currently Fruit Berry Mix. I've got a bunch, dude, and I'm dropping them all over the place. So that's my flavors. Basically everything that's fruity is what I like. But these days, all of these vapes have this minty flavor. I'm not a big fan of that, and they taste very sweet, super sweet. Like I like the non-sweet flavors. As a beginner, should I focus on learning backend more than frontend? That's a great question, Ali. For sure you should. I always say backend is there to protect the infrastructure. Frontend is only there to protect the user from their own stupidity. Because the system exists. If you're smart enough to interact with a system without a UI, the system exists. You don't need a system to protect, you don't need that front end to protect the back end. Because if you only put in front end protections, hackers can still interact with the back end. So back end is where it's at, and front end matters for sure, but back end matters a lot more, I think. Hope that answers the question, man. That's a good question. So we got a question here from Sepulka as well. What do you think about severity would be of... that's the same. Sorry, we've already answered that question. And then we read, what do you think about bug bounties in 2025? I think a lot of bug bounties will start to migrate towards the mobile setting. I think a lot of bug bounty platforms will pop up around AI platforms that are out there. AI pen testing, AI hacking, AI bug bounties. I think crypto is still a hot topic because a lot of money goes into crypto. And if you can hack crypto, I see very basic script, alert / script. I see that get thousands of euros on these cryptocurrency platforms. What the actual fuck, dude? Jesus Christ. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I think that is the end of the questions for today. And I am also going to end the stream here, because we are nearing midnight, and I am going to take my power nap, because you can see I need my beauty sleep. You see, there we go. There we go. Everybody agrees with me. You all looked at the zombie. Okay, so there we go. Thank you so much everybody for tuning in. I really appreciate it. This has been one of our best streams so far. And this is not gonna be a one and done probably. The thing is, every single Friday I am going to be teaching CNWPP. I might be streaming a little bit of that here or there, but I will be doing more streams like that in the future. So thank you so much everybody for enduring my bullshit for this long. You have been great. I still haven't gone through everything. I wanted to show SQL map in burp. I wanted to do XSS polyglots. I wanted to do more, but you you can see that I really need my beauty sleep. So thank you so much. If you have more questions, don't hesitate to tweet at me because we could be gathering them for a next bug bounty adventure like this. Maybe even do some live bug bounties. Why not, right? Hope you enjoyed, ladies and gentlemen. You have been awesome. My name has been the thexssrat, and I'll see you in the